Porn Stars and People Podcast. I'm Dan Frigolette. I'm here with my guest, Lance Hart. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah,
let me see if I can get.
Yeah, it's the first time meeting me. I'm like, yeah.
This is cool. This is Exxxotica weekend. Edison's a weird place.
It's
There's
hard
nothing.
to get. Yeah.
It's like even like the nicest place looks like a weird like the Shining hotel, this white one over here.
Right.
So
well, like I stay at an extended stay in Woodland Hills in LA.
Okay.
Often for shoots because I get booked from Vegas. So I got to drive 4 hours, and I just got to sleep before I can go work.
Sure.
And I don't want to spend a lot of money because I'm only getting like $700 for the work. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I don't want to spend like.
That's the first time anybody's mentioned their price. This is great.
Well, I mean, that's I don't know what other guys get. That's what I get. So for like trans and bi scenes, I often get $700. So, so I'll just stay at an extended stay, but it's like nice there. It's like hardwood floors.
Yeah.
The sheets are okay. This one,
this isn't up to snuff.
Hasn't been. I don't want to make this like an extended stay review. You know what I mean? But they kind of.
Well, we know who's not going to sponsor me.
Right? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe we could hold him ransom.
No, that's cool.
Like,
no, but that's
hey,
but it's like
work.
that's the whole reason you pick a brand, right? Like that's supposed to be the thing is that you get the same type of experience everywhere you go.
You know what you're gonna get. Like generally, the front desk person is mean at an extended stay.
Why?
But I don't know. It's just a thing. You check in, they're like, "I don't have a reservation," and then you're like, "I'm not looking at your phone. I don't have a reservation." That's like a regular thing. But
interesting.
But you get a good price, and you get a fridge. And you get like all that stuff.
But we're talking about two different. Okay, so we're talking about New York. Well, this is sort of New York,
yeah,
right?
New York area,
and then LA. So
LA.
I just feel like that's the kind of thing that you get in those two places.
It's
like if you go to Iowa, they might be nice.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. If you're not, if you're in like the Midwest or some shit, or the South.
We don't have your reservation.
Yeah. In the South, they might just take forever to get to you, but they'll be really friendly. And then they'll like, you'll like, talk to you about Jesus and shit.
That's the thing about the South that I always found was that you'll be like at the restaurant and you'll ask for just the simplest thing, and then they'll be like, okay, 1 second, and then you'll watch them go do 9 other things, and then they'll come back with like your straw, and it's like
slow.
Yeah,
it's slow, but it's so sweet.
It's one thing at a time.
So nice. My mom's Southern, and it's like.
Where's she from?
She's from Louisiana, but originally Georgia. But
oh wow,
Louisiana. So, like that show, Swamp People.
Okay.
They're like neighbors with my uncle.
No shit.
Yeah, like swamp neighbors. So it's
people
like
don't usually talk about Southern hospitality and then go straight to swamp people.
Yeah. Well, it's just try to like get the perspective so my mom acts like she's like Southern debutante, like whatever Southern socialite lady, but she really grew up like dirt poor in the South. But she has this like kind of a axe to grind, I guess, with the way she grew up. So she like
keeping up appearances.
Yeah, so keep up appearances. But then my uncle, her brother, is like a swamp people dude.
No shit.
You know, so he like when they hang out together, it's like hilarious.
That's great.
He's like, Linda, what the hell?
So wait, have you ever been on? Well, I'm gonna re-terminology it, but have you ever been on alligator safari?
I've never been on alligator safari. Yeah, never been on that. Yeah, but I've been in that swamp a lot. In the
really?
spillway is what
no
they
shit.
call it. Yeah, the Chefalaya swamp. And it's pretty. It's cool. I've seen alligators for sure.
Yeah,
and
it seems like that does seem kind of fun. Once you figure out how to do the thing, it actually seems like it could be fun.
Oh,
a
it's
fun
beautiful.
hunt.
The water is like just flat.
Yeah.
And it's just like so quiet, and all you hear is animals. It's fucking cool. But to get there, I mean, if you got to go to where we went was Plaquemine, Louisiana, which is like half an hour from Baton Rouge, and then you get in a tiny boat. And then you burn on the boat, for like an hour.
No
and
shit.
Then you get to like some cabin, and then it's
you're nowhere.
fucking out there. Yeah. But it's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so where did you grow up?
I grew up in I went to high school in like Washington D.C.
Oh no shit.
So yeah, that area, Northern Virginia. But I was born in Michigan. I moved around, but really D.C. I guess is where I'm from.
Oh, that's cool.
So I did D.C. I did like a almost college in New Orleans and didn't really go. One of those things.
It didn't stick?
It didn't stick. I had a late bloomer, one of those situations. And then
Wait, what does that mean? What was your college experience? What was why was it like?
So I showed up with all this gusto, like, hey, I'm at Tulane. It's a good college. I'm gonna get good grades, but I'm also gonna get fucked up. But whatever, we gonna get good grades, And everybody's getting fucked up. It's Tulane. It's, it's like New Orleans. And I didn't handle it. You know what I mean? Like just
how long did you last?
I was there a year, but I should have gone home after the first semester. I mean,
that's bullshit.
Even
No. Here,
show up to class.
as someone who liked being a good student,
right?
Even with that, and like with my nerdiness and my non-partying, the first semester of college is it's like they just throw you in the deep end and they go, we don't give a fuck if you make it or not, which is the first time in your life somebody's doing that to you. In high school, they really want you to make it.
Yeah, it's true. And in college, they just want your money.
They're like, we don't care if you make it.
Yeah.
And so it's like you can get discouraged at first semester, but it's like, I had friends who barely made it, like almost lost scholarships because of their first year, and then buttoned down and like figured it out. 1 year.
I was pretty
Let's go back.
I was doing all kinds of. Well, I finished college.
Okay.
I mean,
just not too late.
Not too late. I went to USF in South Florida, which is way easier, and went to community college for 2 years, and then did that. And which USF, I think is the way to go. Like, because in the end, no one knows you went to community college.
In this climate, for sure, it seems like, especially with my loan status, I'm agreeing.
Dude,
I would agree with you there.
Community college is the shit. Because it's cheap as fuck. The only downside is people don't want to do it because you got to live with your parents, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, that's the situation. But everybody's chill. There's no, social cliques in community college.
You show up. And then you go away.
You're like best friends with some 40-year-old dude, and then just everybody's on the same. Yeah. There's no sports team. Mm-hmm. You're on the same plane.
Right.
And
let's just get the paper and let's get out of here.
You get laid a lot. Because everybody. Oh yeah. I didn't have a car in community college, and I lived far away, and the buses didn't run after my last class, so I had to get a ride home every time. And I didn't know who was going to give me a ride home, so I had to find some mark.
This is
you know what I mean?
This is like a whole other thing, like this. Yeah. This sink or swim mentality, like.
Yeah, I had to figure it out, So I would just I would look for. This is before smartphones, but if you saw a girl staring at her phone, just. Sad.
Yeah.
Just looking at her phone, sitting down.
What could you dawn from that?
Then I would be like, well, she will probably give me a ride home.
Why?
Just because she's waiting for this text, or she's waiting for some kind of happiness to come out of this device.
Okay.
And
wow, this is smart.
I would just, hey, what's your name? Shoot around and shoot the shit. You're really pretty. Wow. Hey. So did you drive here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then I'll help you out. I'll give you a ride. Sure, meet me here. And be like, okay, cool. And then sometimes I get late. Sometimes I just make a friend. You know what I mean?
Oh, you'd set up. You'd start at the beginning of the day for the ride later.
Yeah,
you wouldn't wait until it was over.
No, because you could get fucked.
Yeah,
because I didn't have money back then. I couldn't afford a taxi all the way home. So I would have been screwed. But you got to school with I gotta get a ride. That's great. Yeah, 2 semesters I didn't have a car, so I did that regularly.
That's great.
So community college is great. So I did that, and then USF. Got a degree in creative writing, and now I write porn descriptions for my porn. So it's perfect.
That's cool.
It works out, and then I didn't use the degree. Obviously, I mean I did. I got a bunch of sales jobs.
Yeah,
and did B2B, blah blah blah, business sales. And I hated it. I sucked at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great at cold calling, and it's kind of like being a spy. You have to sneak into corporations and get the decision maker.
Right.
Right. So you have to get through the gate. I would make cookies at home. I would bring cookies into some big law firm and look for the biggest, fattest secretary.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
yes, these are all the little
hey,
tricks.
Honey,
yeah.
You want some cookies? And they're homemade, they smell good. She'd be like, oh, these are great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm struggling. I'm supposed to get whatever. I just need the office number of this executive for my boss's Christmas card list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you help me out? I don't want to get in trouble. And these cookies are supposed to be for someone else, but I'll leave them with you. And they would always be like, oh, yeah, he's in this office. And I'd be like, okay. Then I'd come back the next day, just go straight to that office.
You just sneak into the office.
Walk into the office and be like, hey, you don't know me, but I'm selling this and that. Can I just leave my card? And then you do that 100 times and you get a deal.
No shit.
What I mean? Very sneaky. But so I was good at all the parts up until getting the money, closing the deal.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I was just maybe I didn't have the confidence yet. Or something.
The other stuff seems like the hard part.
Or I just didn't feel all the shit I was selling was, business shit. So who cares?
Yeah.
It didn't help them or make them happier. It just was a business thing.
Does anything really make anybody happier that you can sell them?
I don't know. Porn makes people kind of happy. It's not inner peace happiness. Yeah. But but it's it makes them. I think it moves the needle, you know?
Sure.
Like before I was in porn, if I was having a rough time, but there was some porn I was really into, I would jerk off to it and I really look forward to it, and it would make me feel better. Like I scratched an itch, and oh, that felt good. You know, almost like getting a massage or something like that.
Yeah.
And, so that
I could agree with that.
And also porn is what it is. It's not, you're not lying. I mean, like Big Titty MILFs #7 is like MILFs with big tits, and it's the 7th film of that. I mean, it's not like, yes, this software will help your ROI, but blah, 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 blah. You know, and it really doesn't, and no one checks, and they just pay for it. It doesn't work, and no one uses it.
I like this idea, the authenticity of the title.
Everything's fucking legit.
Because it's funny, because you could make the opposite. You could make the argument that it's all lying, right?
Well, yeah.
But it's also, but you're right. It's very truthful. You get what you put into the search bar.
It's lying in the sense that, like, I mean, we really are having sex,
right?
And we really are naked. So that's really what we look like. But it's lying, like, because that shit would never happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you're formulating this relationship that you're like jumping ahead 9 steps of a thing that wouldn't happen. But
it's kind of the fun part. Though.
Yeah, well, that's interesting too. Yeah, you know what I found out recently, and it's been weird for me to interview people in this industry, because now it's like I can't watch the work now. Because I don't have the same. Because now it's like, now I know who the person is, and I think when I was watching porn, I was doing this thing where I was attaching I was putting other people into that person, right? And then so now I know the real person, and I'm like, oh, I can't like enjoy this anymore.
Well, there's like levels to this, right? So then the next step is you start, like, if you ever, like, where I'm at now is I jerk off to my friend's Instagram, because I know everybody in porn now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
right. So you have to be non-adjacent.
Yeah, Pornhub is kind of like Facebook to me. You know what I mean? It's just everybody I work with and whatever, you know. And occasionally I see something really hot, but then I'm like, but I know what that day was like, and they're set, and the da-da-da, and so I'm like not interested in the actual video. Yeah. I want to see them taking a selfie in the bathroom or something, or in the mirror, or their Halloween costume. Something like that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's fucking great, yeah. And so that's what gets. So it's like
it is. It's like you go on the other way. Like I had this understanding later on, because I've been doing comedy for 15 years. So now, like, when I'm not in an office environment anymore, but I used to be. So now when I see a girl in like an office, like in like a like a pantsuit, I'm like, oh God, look at that pantsuit.
Right.
Oh, it's just, you know, we crave like what we don't have, what we can't see.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm in nightclubs and bars every night. I see girls with their stuff out. So like now it's like you cover that shit up, and I'm like, oh,
right.
Look at you naughty girl.
Right. So is there like a lot of sex in comedy? I would imagine if you're a comic.
A lot of sex in comedy?
Yeah.
There's a lot of sex in the world, isn't there?
I mean, in the world, yeah, but like you're the guy on stage. You made everyone laugh. So, like, can you just kind of grab a girl and go home with her?
Yeah, you could do that, but still, I don't know. I make dumb rules for myself. Like I don't fuck anybody in my industry. And
That's
I don't,
smart.
And I try not to fuck the audience as best I can. It's like,
okay.
Look, so things are gonna happen sometimes. But it's like it's a fake connection. So for me, that's just not enough.
I could see that.
But that's the first point for dudes. You go, how do I get laid? Okay, I'm good at this thing. Let me go do this thing in front of girls or guys. And and it works for a lot of people. But yeah, it's like it just doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah, it's like fucking a fan, I guess. It's kind of weird. Yeah, because they're not really they're gonna put you on a pedestal, and they're gonna,
and they've done all these. They've watched you do well for they've watched you be the best you.
Yeah,
is how I like to put it.
And you can only go down.
I'm not the best me all day long.
No,
all day long I'm awful. Like you gotta want to fuck the guy who took you to coffee.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And like talked about himself too much.
Right.
Like that guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know. It's interesting because as I do see, can we talk about this your relationship outside of?
Yeah.
Because you're with somebody, you're engaged to somebody who's in the industry, somebody that I interviewed earlier on. How does that whole thing play out?
Well, a lot of people ask that, and it's kind of
good, bad,
really easy. Like so, the good news, the quick good news is communication is amazing, because especially when it comes to sex, which most couples don't have. But we already know. We have a rolling dialogue of what she's into and what I'm into.
Right.
And like down to the dirty like shit that you would never tell anyone. That's all out on the table because it comes out naturally in conversation because we talk about work.
Right.
Like with anyone you're dating, you get home, you watch Netflix, you bitch about work. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You try to be as positive as you can, but
right.
you know, sometimes you're like, oh, I've been complaining too much, sorry. But you generally just talk about work. So I know what happened at work that she liked and she didn't like.
Yeah.
And she knows vice versa for me. So that's huge. And that so then once you get through that, it's like, well, why have any secrets? You know what I mean? Like, why have, like, I like to jerk off to like 1980s like aerobics videos. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Like the chicks with the high cut leotards and pantyhose and shit.
Yeah.
And that
got a lot of us through hard times.
I know, yeah. And I'm like, why is it? I can't be the only one. I mean, you know, but like I'm like really into that shit. So like, I mean, some of my movies that I film, I would dress the girls like that. You know, it's fun. But I've dated girls before where they find out some shit like that and they're like, hey, you're fucking weird, man. Why don't you like look at normal porn, or why don't you you know? So you don't have to worry about that. And then
this is the thing I envy about the people in this industry is it is everything is so everything's out there. You know what the yeses and nos are, which I don't have that in my life. I meet somebody, we start hanging out, and we're many dates and many sexual experiences into like before we're doing anything like weird or different in the bedroom, because it's like it's not the thing you talk about. Yeah. And it's like you don't. It's like that's what I envy about porn. It's like you number one, you put it all on paper. You go, we're gonna do these 9 things. Right. And that's sort of like the wiggle room. Yeah. But like we don't have like straight like regular straight people, because I guess in gay relationships there's a lot more communication like that too. This is what I do.
Because you got to be like top or bottom.
Right. I'm this thing. This is what I do. Right.
Yeah. Like
and
all
so
it has to be
straight civilian relationships it's the worst communication wise.
I hooked up with a normal non-porn chick. The last
time
I
did that. Normies? What do you call them?
Civilians.
Do you call them civilians? Well, I like to call them civilians.
Earth people.
Right.
It just depends. It just depends on where you hang out with. But this girl was super nice. Like a fitness type chick, you know? Yeah. And I'm into that, you know, and this is like way before I was with Charlotte. And but anyway, we're hooking up, and I just started eating her ass, you know? Just like I was eating her pussy, I flip her over, started eating her ass. Just
without a discussion.
Yeah, I was just like, this is what you do. She has a great ass. I want to put my face in it. Right. I mean, why wouldn't I? Right. And she was like, whoa, you know, but she didn't like stop me. And after, she's like, so you just really dove right into my ass. And I was like, well, yeah. And she goes, huh? No one's ever done that. Like, I was like, no, what? You know? But yeah, like with porn people, someone might start licking your ass, and you're like, hey, not today. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Right. No biggie. But yeah, so different. Because she probably felt like she couldn't communicate. Like, oh, I don't want to tell him to stop. I don't want to offend him. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's
I'm
really into that. Oh, my God, no one's ever eaten my ass. Please do that more. She was shocked that someone was sticking their tongue in her butthole, you know? Yeah. Which is, so that's different.
Yeah, there's in like civilian sex, there's so much like, no, not that, or just, and like not really communication, just sort of like this nonverbal, like move your hand.
Oh, yeah. Like, and what does that mean? And then like, like a grunt, you know, could mean like, oh, that feels great, or oh God, stop. You know?
Right. And then that's why you got to try again and just you got to find out what the grunt meant.
What if it hurt him? And then you're like, oh shit, I just did that again. Yeah. I was way before I was in porn, I was like kind of choke fucking this lady. And
she's a lady. I like that. Like this.
Well, she's a lady. She had a kid, so I figured she was a lady. She's like a single mom. Yeah. And it's actually coincidence, not to drop names, but the guy BT, the DJ, the Brian Tor. Anyway. Okay. It was his baby mama.
Okay. So is he aware of the situation?
I don't think so, but I don't know. But I listen to his music. So
BT and Extended Stay America are not a fan of this podcast.
Yeah, maybe he's like, oh, maybe we could have a threesome or something. I don't know. Who knows? But so when she didn't have her daughter, like when BT had the girl, then she would booty call me. The mom would be like, hey, I met her on Match.com. You know what I mean? So she would just Tuesday nights, I'd come over, And she lived near my work, so it was great. Easy. It was just a nice, chill relationship.
Logistics, you figured it out.
Yeah, we barely knew each other, but but it was that kind of relationship, and we didn't talk much. So, but one time, she had a sore on her mouth, so I didn't want to kiss her because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, there's no communication with normal people, so there's no way I could have mustered up the courage to be like, "Is that herpes?"
Right.
Because that's cool, but can you not kiss me
Ever.
if that's herpes?
Yeah,
Because
right.
I'm not on Valtrex, or are you on Valtrex? You know what I mean? Like in porn, you would just talk about that. But,
yeah.
But I was like, So she's trying to kiss me, and I'm just grabbing her and keeping her face away from me, which turned into choke fuck.
Yeah.
Because I just was just kind of done. And
You're
she was
there.
going with it. Her body language was like, yeah, I want this, So I'm just railing away at her, just choke fucking her. And then I'm done. And I noticed she's kind of crying into the pillow, and I'm like, oh no, prison, bad. I just hurt her. She needs therapy. This is terrible. And then she rolls over and she goes, I could feel your love. Like she was tears of joy.
Yeah. It's
and
emotion.
I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
She's crazy. Okay, cool. It's daddy issues. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
But what a scary moment,
Yeah.
because she didn't know how to tell me, hey, don't touch my neck.
Yeah.
Or I mean, she did in that case. She
wanted
it, but you just have to wing it, I guess.
Yeah, but that's basically
so
what it is. And
yeah.
it's like what you said. It's like sometimes you do something to somebody, and they didn't know that was the thing they were into.
Yeah.
And now it's like you've opened this whole world.
That's true. Yeah.
But sometimes it's the biggest problem in civilian sex. Whatever. I'm a civilian. I don't know why I'm pretending like. But is that there's so much cut off and no, and people aren't trying. They've decided. They had one bad experience. It's and then they don't want to try the thing ever again.
Yeah, I've been with a lot of girls that are like, don't go down on me. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Some guy did it terrible.
Yeah.
Bitter.
Or made her feel weird. Yeah, told her she tasted weird.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Something happened.
Yeah.
He he got a hair in his throat. It was this whole fucking big song and dance.
And guys that don't like blowjobs, or because of the tooth or whatever. They got toothed, or all kinds of things. Yeah. But important. You push through it. You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their no list, but you just push through the general shit.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And then being in straight and gay porn helps too, because it's helped me a lot. Bottoming with dudes has helped me understand women, just in the aspect of just having someone big slamming into you.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? And then the penetration on top of that. But someone weighs 160 pounds and they're just their body's hitting.
Yeah, right.
That feels like something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It feels like you're getting jujitsu'd or something. You
know
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different than I thought.
It's there's a power.
Yeah.
Struggle.
Yeah, and you feel even if you are stronger than them, you feel just away. You know what I mean? And it can be really good, but it can also be scary.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I kind of learned that. And body language stuff.
So that's interesting. This is always a thing that this is a thing that I've known about in the thing is sort of the gay for pay thing. Were you experimenting in your life, or this came about through the industry?
There had been 2 or 3 guys that I kind of thought about maybe kissing. You know what I mean? And I just didn't, because I was like, oh, this guy's gonna punch me if I kiss him. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna do that. And then I'm really into. I love women. You know what I mean? So I just kind of was like, well, why even try to mess with dudes when it's it's life's, hate to say it, but I have an opportunity to be a straight white male. You know what I mean? So you
sure.
Get not that I'm going for that, but you know what I mean? It's like the adversity you get with being gay. I was like, well, I'll just be straight.
Why? Yeah. Why make life
it's
harder?
not going to make my parents yell at me. It's not going to make my brother ashamed of me. Not that he would have been, but in my head.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it. So I just kind of repressed all that, And then, long story short, someone asked me to be in a gay porn, and all I had to do was jerk off.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I jerk off at home. Whatever. So the guys are going to watch. Who cares, And it was a lot of money. It was like $1,800 at the time, which is a lot if you're, if you need to pay rent. Which I did, because I just got laid off from my job. So I was like, fuck, $1,900. Yeah, let's do it. And they said, I guess I was good at it. You know what I mean? I was like, everybody's good at it. And they're like, no, you got the stuff, kid. And they made me feel good about it. And meanwhile, in my day job, I kept getting laid off being a sales guy.
Yeah.
Doing the sales shit where I would not be able to close deals.
Yeah.
And so the gay porn company said, we'll sign you in a contract for a year. You get $3,000 a scene, but you have to fuck guys, and you're probably going to be a bottom just because of the way your body type is. And I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to do that. No thanks, but no thanks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to fuck dudes on the internet. My dad's going to see it. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And 3-4 months later, get laid off again.
Wait, this is your first this is your first run at porn at all?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I had been in a fetish porn, but that's a whole nother story. But that wasn't. I didn't get paid. I was wearing a mask. It was just silly. You know,
Yeah.
It was just femdom stuff. You know. Now I'm really good friends with the lady who filmed that, actually, which is funny. She's like the queen of femdom. Like, Lexi Sandel's her name, and she probably makes more money than anyone I know. Maybe in porn, but definitely in femdom. I mean, she's killing it. But at the time, she was brand new to it, and she just needed a guy. Yeah. And I just showed up. It was in Baltimore. No one else was around there, you know. But anyway, so I'm broke and need money and failing hard at sales. You know what I mean? I'm reading the sales books. I'm going to seminars. I'm trying as hard as I can. I mean, I really am. And it just feel like a broken man. Like I can't fucking deal with life. Meanwhile, this porn company thinks I'm awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And they're just dangling this cash.
And all my friends are like, without knowing what's going on, they're like, why don't you find something you love? Like, you probably don't love sales.
Right.
Do something you love. And I'm like, well, I love going to the gym. It didn't occur to me I love porn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, well, maybe I'll be a fitness guy. Or maybe I'll join the military. I like guns. You know what I mean? It's crazy that people think that way. They miss the thing that's right in front of them. And my best friend, Corey, he knew he knew I had done the jerk off porn, and he's like, dude, we're roommates. He's like, you spend 3 hours every night jerking off to porn. You know what I mean?
3 hours.
Yeah, like you fucking go out, whatever you're doing, you love that, and they loved you, and you suck at everything else. Go do porn. Yeah. And I was like, but it's gay porn. Okay. And he's like, dude, just fucking do it. And I'm like, okay. And so I did it, and I fly out to San Diego, and only told him. That was it. Yeah. And it ended up being awesome. I mean, the dude I worked with was this also mostly straight gay guy. You know what I mean? He's like a surfer bro. And he goes, hey, man, you straight? Right before the scene. I'm nervous as fuck. I'm like, this guy's going to stick his dick in me. I'm about to, like, make out with a dude. Scary, you know? And he's like, hey, bro, you straight? And I'm like, yeah, I think, you know? And he goes, well, me too, but we're going to be gay as fuck for the next 4 hours,
That's
bro.
Hilarious.
And he, like, high-five. And I'm like,
this is what
all right,
I think this is what this is so funny. I think this is what people think that's exactly what would happen right before. Yeah. But I didn't think that was real. That's hilarious.
So we like high-five, and then I'm like, it really is the perfect thing to say. Because I got chill as fuck after that. I'm like, this guy's cool. Yeah. But then he pulls his dick out. It's huge. I mean, it's fucking biggest dick I've seen to this day in porn. I mean, it's fucking huge. And I'm like, that's going to me, fuck. And but I made it happen. You know what I mean? I'd never really stuck much in my ass, but it was a really, really big gay porn company, so they had a big crew, and it was all gay dudes. Yeah. And they were all just like, honey, here's what you do. You got to relax. You got to do this. You got to do that. They taught me how to clean. They taught me the way of taking dick, and made it happen. It hurt, but it worked. You know what I mean? And I was turned on in moments of it, and then I got $3,000, and I was like, fuck. And then they asked me to come back the next week, so then I had $6,000. You know? And I'm like, holy shit. Okay, we can do this. So after that contract was up, I bought my own camcorder, and I thought, well, I'm gonna try straight porn. I didn't know there's like a crossover rule, like you're not supposed to do both. As I was in Florida.
What is that rule for people?
Well, if you've done any gay porn, you're supposed to stay in gay porn, and if you've done straight porn, you don't really. The gays don't really care if you do. They'll hire you. Like, you'll still get work, but the fans are like, that guy's not gay. Yeah. Like, he's on Twitter all over with girls. Like, okay. But I thought come on, but man, now get a gay guy to do it.
I thought I had an understanding that there's something about there's something hot to gay guys that there's like this straight guy.
That's some niches, but that's not. I wouldn't say
that's not the general
that's
psychology.
Not the general, there's definitely a lot of gay dudes who are like, I want what I can't have.
Right.
Or like any straight anybody wants what they can't have. But there's also a lot of gay dudes who are like, why it's hard enough being gay, being oppressed, dealing with the shit we got to deal with. Why
are you taking our work?
The one job, literally.
Right.
This is the one job that is supposed to be gay porn. Like this is.
Why are straight white guys taking all of the jobs?
Like next, they're gonna be interior decorators and hairdressers. Like what? No.
It's so funny.
And they get mad at me on Twitter and stuff.
No shit.
Oh yeah. But
how do you wait? No, I just like this because how do you handle your Twitter haters?
I don't respond or
do you are you so vulnerable that you have to block or snooze them?
No, if they're being mean, if they say mean shit about my friends a lot, I'll unfollow them if I was already following.
Yeah.
them. I'll block them if they're like affecting other people.
Yeah.
Like if they're saying mean shit about Charlotte because they want to get at me.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, well, fuck you, blocked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if they're.
But you don't get in the fray.
I don't really try it because it's interesting, and it's just it's social media. I think social media is like a party. That's the way you should look at it. Like if you walked into a big party that was like more people than you could see, just hundreds of thousands of people in this party, you wouldn't walk around spouting out your political feelings. Right. Because people would be like, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's what parties are. You understand?
I mean, but you might be walking around trying to get attention.
Yeah.
And you might be dressed as good as you could be, and you might be trying to get people laugh or dancing or try to, you might try and be cool, but you wouldn't be like, well, you know what I think about this issue. Oh, you think that way? Then fuck you.
No, there are people that go to parties and do that for sure.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but people don't want to hang out with them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why they go to the party because it's like they're not invited to all the things, so they get like.
Yeah. So I mean, those people, that guy is weird, and you wouldn't be selling shit. You wouldn't walk around. Hey, everybody, I do this for a living. You should buy this. You should buy this.
Yeah.
You might bring it up in conversation, like, hey, I'm in real estate, by the way. House,
this is a good outlook. I like this.
So I try to look
social
at
media is
Twitter
a party
that way, because otherwise people they get sick of your shit. So when people hate on me, I don't. And then with the crossover on the other side, when I don't get work because I'm done gay porn, in the straight side, I don't complain about that ever. You know what I mean? Because I get more work than most male talents I know. Because there's only like 7 or 8 crossover dudes. Yeah. So if they need a guy to do a bi scene or a trans scene, it's me and like 7 or 8 other guys.
Yeah.
And if they need a guy that looks like me, it's me.
Yeah.
If they need a big muscly dude, there's another guy. And if they need an older guy, there's a guy. You know what I mean?
Well, this is where you go. If they need a guy who looks like me, it's me.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, well, like average height, average build.
Yeah.
Then that's brown hair. Okay, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally, they can't get no tattoos.
Yeah.
Well, then that limits the other 4. So I mean, it's just constant work, and so I'm not bitching about that. I mean, I'll never be able to work for like Brazzers or Naughty America or like.
They won't do it.
No, they're like fuck no. They had a director that was bi, and they moved him over to the gay department.
So what? What is this? What is this like? I don't know. What word do I want to use? It's not. What is this like thought process? Why is the crossover such a?
There's 2 things. There's one, people say, oh, it's homophobia. They're homophobic, and I don't really buy into that. I think that's making the issue worse, and I think it's hateful. You know what I mean? I think there's fear of AIDS. AIDS is scary.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like spiders are scary. You know what I mean? And when you're scared of something, being socially embarrassed about it doesn't make you less scared.
Let's hit that point dead on. Is there more people that are positive, HIV positive, that work in?
Oh yeah, on the gay side.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because on the gay side, you can be positive, and still work.
Okay, so that's the main thing.
And now more than ever, because now there's Truvada, which means like I take Truvada, which means basically I can't get HIV. So I don't know the science of it, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of proteins in your body. HIV can only attach to one kind.
Okay.
And Truvada eliminates that one protein.
Interesting.
So you just don't have. So if it gets in your system, it's kind of like a polar bear that can't find any more ice.
Got it.
Drowns. Just, no more HIV. So you just can't get it. So because I work with people who might be positive, I take Truvada. Yeah. So I'm safe. And then if they're positive, they won't want to die. You know what I mean? So obviously they get their medication. It's free now. If you're HIV positive, You go to any LGBT student center in the country and tell them you're HIV positive, they'll hook you up with medication, and then you're not gonna be what's it called? You're gonna be
communicable.
Communicable. There's a word that everybody uses, and I should know it. But basically, your viral load is so low that if you were to blood test for it, you would pass. You wouldn't.
Oh no shit.
So essentially, you don't have it.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah, you have it
for
but
the
you don't have
for
it.
the layman.
Yeah, if you quit taking your meds, you have HIV again.
Yeah,
but you essentially don't have it. So that's the deal. So you can get HIV and then go take the same talent test that everybody on the straight side takes.
Yeah.
And pass it. And then go work with them, and they're fine for 14 days. That's why we have a 14-day window on the test.
Yeah.
After, let's say you're HIV positive, you take your meds, and then you're to a point where you can't give it to anyone else. You go take the talent test. You can quit taking your meds that day. It'll take 16 days-ish for you to be viral again.
Interesting.
So you have 14 days where no matter fucking what, even if you contracted more AIDS, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you slept with someone full-blown AIDS the next day, it won't get to a point in your system for like 16, 17, 18 days.
Interesting.
So there's a 14-day window. So that window really does keep us safe. But a lot of people don't know that, and they don't have to because they don't work in the... I mean, like AIDS could be gay or straight. It doesn't care.
You're right.
But how many straight people do you know who have HIV? I mean,
right.
Very few, probably. Maybe none. I don't know if you
yeah.
know it. I mean, I know none.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I openly know none.
Yeah.
I don't know that there are none in my life.
There's sure.
But nobody's
could be
talking about it.
And on the other side, if you're straight and you have HIV, you probably don't tell anyone. If you're gay, the stigma's not as much there.
Well, and there's a support structure.
There's a support structure. It's more open-minded. But if you're on the straight side, I can see why you would be like, oh, they've done the gay stuff. That's where AIDS comes from.
Yeah.
Why don't we keep them on their side of the pool?
Yeah. Okay. So this was the big thing that I think that I think a lot of us not in this industry missed about that situation that happened last year. That we mentioned earlier with August.
Yeah.
There was this sort of this vibe.
Yeah, I didn't have any hate towards her when she tweeted the thing she tweeted. I just thought that sucks. She doesn't understand the testing standards, but she does not have to. The girl was.
But the whole thing, the whole controversy, felt like nobody had enough information.
Nobody had.
She said a thing that wasn't true, and then a bunch of people said that because you're saying this, that you must feel this way, and that also wasn't true. And then she didn't explain herself, and then the whole thing kind of spiraled.
When it was like outrage culture at its top. Maybe Roseanne Barr was the worst. You know what I mean? That was the worst.
Okay, so you think what Roseanne said?
No, well, August is
could
dead.
be
That's worse.
But you think what Roseanne said could have been misconstrued?
I think I don't know the whole story. I obviously don't know Roseanne, but for me, not knowing much about any of that, I know I followed her on Twitter for a while.
Yeah.
Her Twitter was crazy.
Yeah.
She always said crazy shit.
Right. Yeah, this is the thing. They're taking it out of context. It's like with the Kanye stuff. Like they took like one snippet, they took the craziest part of a crazy rant, and then they just took that little piece and they're like, okay, out of context, this is so inflammatory.
And then
well, the biggest problem, especially globally, and especially right now, is you cannot compare a person who's not white to any sort of primate, any sort of like that becomes like the most racist thing. If you call a white person a monkey, it's like not an issue.
From what I understand, she thought she was calling a white person a monkey.
I don't know what she understood or didn't understand.
She's whacked out on drugs and shit, right?
But it's a Planet of the Apes character.
But
like it's like
a
Planet of the Apes. Like it's like so many fictional levels of things.
Yeah.
And a very specific planet. It's like how crazy can we be about this whole thing? It's like also like Shaun White this weekend. He dressed up as what's that character from Tropic Thunder? It was the character of a character. He dressed up as Simple. I can't think of the guy's name. Simple Jack.
Yeah. Okay.
And everybody freaked out on him.
Oh my god.
And it's like this is a fictional character within a fictional character, and then this is another person being it. It's like how offended can we be about something that we know is clearly ridiculous?
Yeah, that's the thing is in people. So I'm with the August Ames thing. I'm the guy that should have been offended by it.
Yeah.
Right. Like
sure.
I'm the one of 7 guys. Like I said,
yeah.
there's only 7 of us.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. But like, half of them barely work. Like they live in Texas and they work sometimes, and yeah, technically they're a crossover. But I mean, as far as like, I make my living crossing over from gay to bi to straight to trans porn. There's like very few of us. I saw her tweet. I was like, oh, the poor girl doesn't get the talent testing thing. That sucks. Oh well.
Right.
I did not care, and I thought honestly. Hey, good. Well, I said, hey, Charlotte, do you know this August Ames girl? And she goes, oh, she's very sweet. She's really nice. And I go, oh, okay, cool. Didn't even. Yeah, my fiance says she's cool. She's cool. Right?
End of story.
That was it. And then I look at my Twitter later. I was busy day. It was a crazy busy day. Midnight, I look at my Twitter and I see I've been added in like hundreds of things because I'm like the one
people
guy.
are trying to bring you in.
And they're trying to pull me in. And they're like, don't you think this is fucked up? Don't you think this is fucked up? And I was like going through it, and I'm like, fuck, guys, no, I don't. Who cares? I mean, why are you still on this? And then the next morning, I wake up. Charlotte's next to me. She's looking at her phone. She goes, oh, that August Ames, she died.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. And then
I
couldn't believe it.
It's crazy. I mean, I had the exact same experience in a sense that I had finally become like aware of this industry. So I was like, now I was in all the things. So I'm aware of the tweets. I saw the beginning of the thing happen. I saw when the first tweet happened and the people were attacking her, and it was like, okay, yeah. Like I was reading someone who was like, this is gross. This is bad. Everybody here is misinformed, right?
It was just a poor showing.
And it is. And then the next day, it's like, how did you let that be so crucial? Like, it's like, did she think she was never going to work again? Like, what did?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, well, and obviously, if you commit suicide, there's issues.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
I would think. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, okay,
I've barely been suicidal ever.
So this is.
I don't know. I can't honestly say. But
this is the thing. I feel it's like, I just think you need to be able to murder another person. You just sometimes you just need that one thing. Like life is hard. So every once in a while, it's like you feel like, oh, I could kill somebody. So it's like, does suicide have that same same moment? That it's just one thing can just drive you beyond the level of reconciliation? I think it was, who knows? And a lot of people were like, well, we need to have more mental check-ins because who else is in danger? Yeah.
And to that, I'm like, well, I mean, let's do anything we can to help. But I don't know. I've seen that in practice. Like, friends have been like, hey, let's mental check-in. Sure. And I'm like, thanks, man. That's really sweet of you. But I have no idea what to say to you right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, no. I think I'm good. Yeah. It's like it's one of the it's like how do you say it's fine, and then everything that you say could be now you're overthinking it, and they're overthinking it. Yeah. We don't need to be overanalyzing. Well, and half the time, if I'm of the school of thought where if I'm like emotionally in trouble, let's go like I just pragmatically not. I mean, when I'm emotionally in trouble, I'm not that pragmatic. I'm just emotional, but something kicks in where it's like, okay, have you eaten? You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you need sleep? Is that okay? Well, if those two are fine and you're still fucked up emotionally, okay. Do you owe money? Let's look at that. You're right. Start going through the things, and eventually I find the reason. There's always a reason. Sure. It's not so that I guess that's how I know I'm not depressed. You know what I mean? Maybe the serotonin's working, but so talking to someone, having someone else analyze me, I'm sure it would help, but it's not. It just seems silly, so it's hard for me to like get. Yeah, I had depression, but I mean, I don't know. I was diagnosed. It's weird to like understand it through like a social media scope, but it's like I had one of these things where somebody that was like adjacent to both of my industries started like piling on me about something, and then it started looking like it was going viral, and I was like I like started panicking for a second, and then I was like, and I like responded a couple times, and then I was like, this isn't the right thing to do, and I eventually just blocked and walked away from it. Yeah. But it's like, so I like there's a little bit that I get it. If that's part of your entire world and it's like crashing around you, scary, that it feels like permanent. Well, there's that, and then well, who knows what else the poor girl had going on. And I say poor girl. I shouldn't even say that. I don't even know her. I heard she's very sweet and she's gone. It's sad. But who knows, you know? Yeah. But what didn't need to happen is people, it's just gross, I think, that everybody thinks it's cool to yell at people. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like, and it's especially gross when later the person dies. You know what I mean? Then you're like, ew. Yeah, what is this thing? Yeah, there's this like blaming, yelling, throwing shade. This is like part of culture now. It's not it's funny, like, so like drag queens are really popular now, which is cool. I think that's neat. Like it's like really cool. Like you can't do an event in Vegas without a drag queen. You have to like where's drag queen? You know what I mean? Like come on. And their whole thing is throwing shade. They get on stage, they're fucking shade.
But it's clearly like,
but they do it with this like cool. They have a way.
And the one that's part of Vegas too, like that, like you know, it was like a thing. Cause what was his name? I don't know why my brain's not working this morning. The guy used to hang out with Sinatra, and he was a comedian, and he would and he that was his whole thing. That was part of the shtick. Was like he's just like shitting on Sinatra and like
hang that phone up, or it's
no, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Cool.
People will get it. It'll be gone eventually.
Yeah. Probably extended stay.
They'll be like, we don't have your reservation.
That happened to me once at an extended stay. I was in there a day, and they were like,
they called you and they wouldn't have your reservation.
Hey, we actually don't have you here as paid, and I'm like, I literally just paid downstairs. Sir, we need you to call this. Oh my god, you know. So anyway,
it's funny.
No, but it's but with the drag queens, they have a way. It's almost like in comedy, we need comedians to have a license to be able to say whatever the fuck they want. You guys need free speech more than anyone, I think, because we have to laugh about shit.
And it is getting rough out there.
Someone's got to have that.
It is getting rough with the sort of like the people deciding and policing what they think people can say.
It's like because if we take that, then next thing you know, we can't have movies and video games that have racism in them,
right?
Or have whatever issue, you know what I mean?
But the thing is, racism aside, like none of these issues get to like be dissolved until we can get. It's just like anything else. It's like you don't know if you like to be choked until somebody starts like. You don't start with a full choke. You start with like a passive sort of like I'm not like an unsure choke, and then you were. It's that same thing. It's like you can't know if this is a thing that is ultimately a greater issue until you start poking at it.
Well, and making fun of like racists is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this is what I found so great about.
You know what I mean?
Did you see Three Billboards?
No, I haven't seen that.
They basically used what I thought was so brilliant was they used like the language they like used the lexicon of racist to tell the story.
Okay, right.
And so it's like you're watching it and you're like as a non-racist you're like oh this is crazy that people like feel and think this way, but it made you understand a racist person's perspective more. And it drew more light to the situation.
Well, that's what I mean. People have to have a license to do that shit. So we can't be censoring each other. On that shit. But and yelling at people. You know what I mean? Like,
but
who are you
what's interesting is it's making its way into real life. Like the other day, my dog was taking a shit, and I was sending an email trying to get work in South Africa.
Oh, cool.
And I was in that moment. So I'm like checking my calendar. So it's like an important moment because it's like I also like the time zones like against me, and I just gotta go. So it's like I need to send this email right now. My dog took a shit now, and I like attached to the fence. So now I'm boxed in dog shit and me, and this lady comes by.
Right.
I don't know her. I don't know what's going on. I'm standing in front of this, and she goes, "Are you gonna pick up your dog's shit?"
Right.
And I was like, what is like? Who are you? Who are you?
Right.
What's happening? And it's like she sent it like it was going to be a tweet because her reaction to me responding was so like she was just like I didn't even understand that somebody would respond to me. So I was like, yeah, why? Do you want to do it? And she was just like, what? No. And then she like so mad. And then it was just such a weird thing. And then I said to her, I go, I'm sorry you're having a bad day.
Right.
And the whole time I'm calm, and then she was like, I'm not having a bad day, and then she just like stormed off. But it's like we just think we can send this thing out there, and it's gonna not even be responded to because that's where we're at as a culture.
It's crazy. I think maybe it's evolution though. Like
just send a nasty thing.
I think one I don't know. Maybe we'll get to a point like 10 years from now where social media is still there. It's not going anywhere, but it's like kind of laughable. Like it's it just doesn't matter.
I think it's gonna go the other way.
I hope like like Coca-Cola and like big companies quit throwing money into the social media.
I don't know, man. I think the biggest moments were celebrities when they started making announcements that should have been news announcements on Twitter. Yeah. So like Shaq, I think I remember Shaquille O'Neal retired from the NBA on Twitter. So that became the thing. So then the story was now do it, putting on the Twitter. And it's like,
that's true.
And it's like, because it's like when LeBron went to the Heat, that was a news story, and he submitted that to Sports Illustrated, and that was in the news. And then now they're just putting it on. They're just putting it on the internet, and that becomes the thing. They have and our president is tweeting directly to his constituency. It's
Which is crazy. Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah,
that's become the
And the news is about sometimes Twitter. Like you turn on the news and they're like, so and so tweeted.
It's not even sometimes anymore. Yeah. It's like oh, there's this feud, and you're like, where's the feud? It's like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and you're like, where's the feud? There's not even songs. They just tweeted at each other.
Yeah,
that's not a feud. That's
so
just
weird.
two idiots tweeting at each other.
You
don't even know she could have put her phone. You don't even know it's her.
Yeah, I was talking to Joanna Angel, and because she's been in porn just a little longer than social media.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
And I kind of came in right as it was becoming a thing. I'm 39.
Okay, cool.
So, but I started porn when I was like 27.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Twitter was anyway. But so I was like, Joanna, what was it like before Twitter? And she goes, oh man, it was so easy. You just worked with people, and if they were good at porn, you kept working with them.
Yeah.
And that was it. You didn't know how they felt politically, who they voted for, what kind of animals they had, anything. You just didn't know because they were just a contractor.
Sure.
That you showed up to do your contract with. And then you went home. So she was like, yeah, I had friends for years that now that I see them on Twitter, I won't talk to them. And it
Interesting.
Sucks. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, man, they're like, it kind of ruins it. You know what I mean? Like knowing everything about everybody.
It is weird. This is what I do find. Comedians, we have a little bit of a leeway because generally speaking, we are liberals and we're not for Trump. So that's sort of like the thing.
Sure.
But in this industry, it's a lot of different people. But I found from doing this podcast that like that's the first thing people won't talk about. They go, I don't want to talk about the president. I don't want to talk about the election. I don't want to talk about Trump because my fans then won't be my fans.
Well, it's tricky because the fans. You might lose half of your fans,
right?
But you'll definitely lose all of your work if you say you're pro-Trump.
Yeah,
like
interesting.
You will not get hired. You're done. You know what I mean? Not 100%, but I mean, like I have one friend that is, he won't like talk to you unless you want to hear about it.
Right.
He voted for Trump and he's a Trump guy and da 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 da. He didn't like wear a MAGA hat or anything.
Right.
But there's a lot of companies that won't work with him. And there's models that are like, nope.
This is a weird thing, and it's like, and it started small and it's gotten huge, but it's like this is even purveying all of the dating sites. And I did have a discussion with a lady right after the election. She was like, if you voted for Trump, I can't, like, it's like that's the only thing she needed to know. She's like, puts us on the dating site. If you voted for Trump, then we can't date.
Right.
And it's like we're getting so far away. It's like, why wouldn't you be like? You should be able to date the guy because you guys should actually be able to have like a real discussion. But we're so far beyond that.
Splitting sides.
Yeah,
it's fucking scary.
I made up my mind. You made your mind. There's nothing in the middle. It's like I've been working on this bit for a while about how we should fuck somebody different. Like that's how we become better as people. Like fuck somebody different. Fuck somebody with a different opinion than you.
Totally.
Fuck some new ideas into somebody. It's like
Well, like me and my friend, I'm really good friends with Wolf Hudson, and he is. I'd say he's more like I voted for Hillary, but I'm not really that liberal. You know what I mean? I just kind of.
That was the choice.
It was scary. It was a scary election. It was like, fuck, both sides are like really fucked here.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? So I went with Hillary. But Wolf is like a pro Hillary. I'm with her kind of dude. And but we fuck too. I mean, we do a lot of group sex shit together, just like off camera. And so we're like really good friends. And we can talk about politics and it's chill as fuck.
Yeah.
And he'll listen to me and I'll listen to him. And
I think it's like you said though, because every time people in this, it's like once you get past all of the other stuff, like now that you've done the list, like all your deepest, darkest stuff is usually sexual for people, and that's the repressed stuff. So once you've said all that, then every other secret becomes less important.
Like when I always thought people who said college should be free are just like that's silly because I went to college and it was a waste of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so why would we should get rid of college, if anything.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
Interesting.
Here? Like, why is this everybody has to go spend 120 grand?
Yeah.
For nothing?
Right.
To go.
Well, they've built it up. So our generation, they built it up to this thing where you have to go or you're not going to have a career because and it's become this crazy business.
But everything you would learn in college, you can get through your watch now. You can, hey Siri, You know what
Sure.
I mean? So
Sure.
why would you, or your phone, I guess, if you don't have a smartwatch.
Yeah.
But still, like what's the point at this
Yeah.
point? Unless you want to be a doctor. So, but I was talking to Wolf about that, and he was like, well, no, when I say education, I mean like trades and some, like welders.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I was like, oh, well, fuck yeah, that makes way more sense. It just never occurred to me. Like, oh, what if the government did pay for people who grew up with no money to go become a mechanic?
Yeah.
Like that.
Or what? Yeah.
Makes
Well,
sense.
if every possible profession could happen for free, then more people would be happy. More people would be doing what they want to do, because
So
it's
shit
like
like-
we make
go
up these
straight to the job.
excuses. Yeah, you
Yeah.
go. Well, I really like welding, but then I got to go back to school, and it's like so. It's like so in that sense,
Yeah.
it's like if everything that you wanted to be could be free, that makes total sense.
Then that shit, yeah. So it opened my mind, and I was, however that pans out, it pans out. But like but shit like that, I don't know. Yeah, people need to talk more like that, because then you can understand each other and do. You have to pick a hard side.
Yeah, that was the thing that I bumped into, especially was that
There's
like
very few
there's
issues
two
that are hard.
sides.
Yeah.
And then
But
a lot of
abortion's-
times, because I don't pay attention to what's going on, I'm somewhere between the two.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, then somebody will just lump me on
Yeah.
one of the sides, and then the thing is that we're doing now is we're attaching all the other things. So if you have this thing and you feel this way,
Yeah.
well, then you're a homophobe and you're this. If you feel
Right.
it's like, and now you've thrown the entire like platform on this
Right.
person's back.
Like if someone voted for Trump, they're
Right,
racist.
they go, oh, you must be a racist. Oh, you
Yeah.
must hate women. Oh, you must be
Yeah,
homophobic.
which is
And it's
crazy.
like, I know plenty of people that voted for Trump purely from the standpoint that like all they care about is money, and this will make their money
Right.
more.
Or like like I'm a gun guy. I like to shoot guns.
Yeah.
And people in the gun community, most of them voted for Trump because of guns.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, there's still
and they're
this
like,
there's still
how
this
could
crazy
you-
thing. Nobody's trying to take anybody. There's still this thing
Yeah.
people think that people are trying to take their guns. No, we're
They
just trying to
always
make it
think that.
harder for
Yeah.
crazy people to get guns.
No, well, and it's the opposite. I always wonder how deep this goes, because when a liberal becomes president, the gun market goes crazy, because
People start buying guns because they think they're going to be able to get them.
Think they're going to go. No one ever tries to take them away.
Yeah.
But
No,
they
but the-
think they are.
Right. Well,
So-
those are the side. This is the thing that they've
Yeah.
driven into our heads.
So and everybody knows this. We've been through generations of this.
Yeah.
So at this point, if you are Remington or Smith and Wesson,
You should
you should want Hillary to get elected.
Right.
Because you're gonna boom, prices
Yeah.
will go through the roof, and yeah, you might have one gun that you can't sell anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll pass a law where it's like, okay, magazines, or
Yeah.
like they're restricted in California.
Right.
You can't, But
You shouldn't be able to kill hundreds of people in
right.
seconds,
But
or
you're-
deers. You're not going
yeah.
to kill hundreds of
You're
deer.
gonna
That's
kill
not what you're
100 deer.
doing. That's
Yeah.
not what your plan is.
but they're so it's just weird how it's a
Yeah.
mindfuck. But
No, I was
still,
watching-
even with that, I'd vote for Hillary just because I don't know.
Well, no, because here's what it is, and this is like this is the main platform that I think isn't get talked about enough. It's putting like restrictive timelines,
Yeah.
and particularly things that shouldn't exist, like
Right.
things that allow somebody in Vegas to kill hundreds of people in seconds. That just shouldn't exist. There's no reason to have that in your house. There's just there's no practical application for that, right? And the other thing is like if you need it, whatever the restriction is, whether it's 1 day, 14 days, whatever, if you need a gun, if you're somebody who needs a gun immediately, you shouldn't be getting a gun. Like we need to look out for the guy who's like freaking out that he can't get a gun today. If you need to buy a gun today, then you're not doing anything good with that gun.
Like I don't have any felonies. I don't have any medical history that would be trouble for me. So it's easy for me to say, fuck yeah, bring on the rules. But let me have whatever I want.
Yeah.
But make me pass the test.
Right.
You know what I mean? Make me go to a class.
You
make
can't
me-
get anything in a day. You can't get a passport in a day. You can't get
Yeah.
a driver's license in a day. It's like,
Yeah,
why
like,
should you
make
be able
me-
to get a gun in a day?
So, like, I believe I'm on the end of it where, like, I think we should have guns because we need to defend against tyranny, which is kind of like the craziest of the gun people. But I think we should have that.
I have a hard time with that because it's like there's no gun that I can buy, no matter what, that is going to protect me against a drone. I'm never going to be able to take on the
Yeah.
government and win.
Well, but you can defend against it. Like 3 or 4 men with rifles, and obviously after what happened in Vegas, one guy with a rifle he was hard to stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just you can defend an area. You know what I mean? Of course, drones eventually will fuck you up, but they're gonna fuck up everybody. You know what I mean? Are they gonna want to take out an entire section? So I kind of want to have all the shit that the government has, but I'm willing to pay the price if I have to pay a $10,000 tax, you know, to save up. I have to save up to do that in order to have a fully automatic weapon, and then the government can come into my home at any time they want. This is the law currently.
Yeah.
Like if I want to get a machine gun, I have to pay it's $5 or $10 grand tax, and that's for this massive background check effort, basically.
Okay.
And obviously the government makes a little profit. And then they send,
most of the profit.
Yeah, but they send investigators to check into my life, and then anyone I refer, and then they ask, you know, it's
this is in what state?
Deep, Nevada. Well, I think it's national. But
okay.
Nevada is where my friends have done it. So you get a deep background check, and then if you pass, you're basically a legal arms dealer. Like you can buy and sell machine guns and sell them to police or
interesting
military, paramilitary. Like that's the reason why you would have it. And then you can have machine guns at home, and then you can go to the range and shoot machine guns. It's fun.
Yeah.
Buy grenades. You can buy whatever the fuck you want. But the background check is so extensive, and the government has the right to come into your home without a warrant at that point. Like
okay. You've opened the door.
You've opened the door. You said, hey, I'm an arms dealer. I'm on the books. I don't do shit that's illegal. Yeah, come on in. You know what I mean?
Got it.
And I'm cool with that. I'm like, that's a cool way to look at it. And maybe it should be that way with all guns. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm okay with that. But where it's scary is like I go out in the desert and shoot, and a lot of times there's like a family of like really poor people.
Yeah.
And they're there shooting. The granddad's there with the grandkids teaching them how to shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's cool. But I'm looking at the shit they have, and they have like literally the cheapest gun you could ever get.
Yeah.
And they're struggling. They don't even have earmuffs. I mean, they're obviously broke as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks that they can't defend themselves like I could. You know what I mean? Because of the barriers, you know, to get. So maybe I don't know. It's a tricky issue. You know what I mean? Because they probably need it more than I do. My neighborhood, I could get broken into, but theirs more likely. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't believe most of why people have guns. So we'll leave it there. Suffice it to say, we're not going to solve the gun problem. Two people sitting in a room, but that's the point. It's like when people are having the discussions and then somebody's choking somebody out. Like it doesn't matter how much you yell. You're not solving the problem.
No, not at all.
In the discussion, and it's like two people come in with two ideas, and it's and they're going to leave. The most likely they're going to leave with those two ideas.
Well, that's the thing. You got to know when to walk away.
Yeah.
Like I brought up two anecdotes, and I'm like, okay, this guy's not budging on the gun issue. I'm gonna drop it. You know what I mean? Right. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, done. All right, move on.
We don't. We're just not gonna see. We're just not gonna see eye to eye. Is what it is.
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it. People freak out.
I was raised in a very like it just doesn't make sense to have guns kind of way.
Which is cool.
And it's just like there's very few things that somebody can say to me that makes me be like, I should have a gun. Like I shot guns recently, and I was like, it's not that fun.
If it wasn't fun for you, that's a difference.
I just don't get. It's just one of those things. It's like it's just like something else. Like people don't like skiing, people don't like shooting guns. It's one of those things, you know.
It's some people like I got excited. I was like, whoa, this is cool. But I've tried to play golf. And I was like, fuck golf. I lined up with a buddy. He was like he brought in 3 different guns. Whatever. I shot the first gun, hit bullseye, dead bullseye. He was like, who are you? Are you like a secret assassin? Like what the fuck? And I was like, no. And he's like, wasn't that great? And I was like, it's whatever. You know, it was fine. It's just I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why guns and me just we don't care. We don't care about each other. Yeah, sure.
We're an hour in. I appreciate your time. How do people follow you?
So my website is pervout.com. Like I'm gonna
PERV?
PERVOUT.com, and that links to literally everything I do.
Cool. And they can get your specific content.
My content that I produce, my gay stuff and my straight stuff. They can get everything from Pervout. That's
cool.
The deal.
Cool. Do you care if they follow you on social media?
They should. Yeah, it's Lance Hart Fetish. That's everywhere. So
at Lance Hart Fetish.
Lance Hart Fetish.
HART.
HART.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very
Twitter,
cool.
Instagram, Snapchat, blah, 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 blah.
Awesome.
But all that's on the Pervout. Yeah, so that's
cool. I forgot to do this last episode, but I'm gonna do it again. This is the thing I've learned that's important in this industry is pay for your porn. Please pay for your porn. If you didn't pay for your porn, then likely the performer is not getting any back end money and maybe didn't get any front end money. We don't know, but pay for your porn. Just like you pay for everything else.
You pay for start sucking if no one pays for it.
You pay for your coffee. Pay for your porn.
Yeah, it's gonna eventually.
Pay for your comedy. The last time I interviewed somebody, they said they went to a free comedy show, and then I got upset.
Right.
I'm paying for porn. You pay for comedy,
Yeah.
goddammit. Pay for your comedy, pay for your porn.
Yeah.
It's the Porn Stars and People Podcast. We drop a new episode every Monday. We're on iTunes, Google Play, whatever platform you have, we're on it. Stitcher app. If you check us out on YouTube, we got some fun content from today in the very nice extended stay America in Edison, New Jersey.
Nice.
They haven't questioned your reservation yet.
And walls?
Yeah, so it's really sweet.
The windows are open because it smells terrible.
It's really a sweet
That's
deal.
what it is. Yeah,
I'm never getting an extended stay America sponsorship.
Spend $50 more and just stay anywhere else. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you one more time to my guest, Lance Hart, for being on. Thanks for listening, guys.